Last night, Mike Moustakas hit his third home run in as many nights. But the Royals were overdone by Bay in an 11-6 Yankee win. Tonight, pitching should be the story as big game James Shields matches up with 248 game winner Andy Pettitte. Royals and Yankees next. It's a beautiful evening in Kansas City as we come to you from the K for Game 2 of this series between the Yankees and the Royals. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. This is Rex Hudler, and we love great pitching matchups, and apparently so does James Shields, because tonight will be the 7th time in his 8 starts where he has been hooked up against a former All-Star, and he has pitched brilliantly, Rex, every single time out.
It's so great to have an ace, Fizz, because his teammates, the coaches, even the fans come to the ballpark confident. They know what they're going to get from their ace. Hard, heavy, running sinkers. He's got an excellent curveball that he'll use once in a while, but the changeup is almost unhittable when he can locate it. He's devastating. And one of the things that I love about this guy is his passion. He's got a lot of energy. Look at that. He's fired up. He picked off Dwayne Weiss for his last part of his game. He was solid, Fizz. It's great to see his passion.
And how about his matchup with R.A. Dickey in Toronto, then Justin Verlander against Detroit, and then Chris Sale in the Chicago White Sox. A loss and 2 no decisions, even though he pitched brilliantly. So no blame James, and he hopes to knock off the Yankees tonight. Mike Moustakas has been one of the men.
Go ahead. Looking for a bus driver. Could it be Moose? He's on the loose.
Stadium got booed last night, but we'll be back in there today at second base, perhaps hearing some of the boos and cheers from Yankee fans that are here. Joel Goldberg out in right field, right above the visiting bullpen, and Andy Pettit, who has the most wins of any active pitcher in the major leagues, is warming up right now as we speak, and he will be trotting out there against a team he's had a lot of success against. On the other side is the man the Royals call Juego Grande. Actually, James Shields calls himself that too, and they are looking for a big game from James Shields. He has faced the Yankees a lot in his career, and interesting that of the top 7 batters that have faced him the most in the majors, 4 of them are Yankees, but 3 of them are not here on the disabled list. Derek Jeter, Curtis Granderson, and Alex Rodriguez. The problem will, though, be Robinson Cano, who has a .413 career batting average. Cano has only faced Josh Beckett in his career more, 76 at-bats, 75 at-bats he has had against James Shields. So it is a battle of the left-handed veteran, Andy Pettit, and the right-handed ace, James Shields. Enjoy the game. Steve Physiok and Rex Hudler have the call next.
Lottery, play it forward with Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, your Kansas City Chevy dealers, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. And by AT&T, the wireless receiver only from AT&T Ubers. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. This game is brought to you in high definition by Time Warner Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. And this is the 453rd meeting between Kansas City and New York. The Royals have won 183, the Yankees 269. Let's now check the lineup that Ned Yost hopes wins number 184. And he will go with James Shields against Brett Gardner, Robinson Cano, Vernon Wells, Travis Hafner, Ichiro Suzuki, then Nix, Overbay, Nelson, and Stewart. And the Royals knocked around by this lineup last night, which had 16 hits to go with 11 runs, the most against Kansas City this year. And James Shields, you talked about him being a big game pitcher, a 2.5 earned run average, Rex, and only a 2-2 record.
That's all right. You know, the run support's been down for him because he's facing other aces. But he's coming off his best performance of the year Monday, punching out a season-high 9 against the White Sox over 8 shutout innings. He's going to feature his patented 88 to 93 mile an hour sinker, really hard sink to it, his slider curve, But his best pitch is his changeup, and when he can control that and command it, he can strike anybody out, and he can throw it 3-4 times in a row. It's that good. All right, defensively behind him, and he's hoping these guys can bring their game, because so far this season, they haven't brought it. They're last in the league in fielding with a lot of errors. So, look, we're hoping that Frenchie can hose out another player. Frenchie picked up his 119th career outfield assist last Monday. He's got 3 this year, and he can't wait till Gardner, Ichiro, anybody tries to take a base on him.
He looks great tonight, clean shaven, ready to go. And the Royals will face a very difficult lineup in Gardner, Cano, and Wells to start this first inning. James Shields, meantime, with a 14-inning scoreless stretch. And that includes last Monday when he had a great duel with Chris Sale, holding Sox hitters hitless until the 6th inning, when he gave up no runs through 8 innings. He wound up allowing just 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 9, and the bullpen could not hold that 1-0 lead as the Royals lost in 11 innings, 2-1 on Jordan Dank's home run. So Gardner, who had a couple of hits, including a double and a triple, a run scored yesterday in New York's victory. Speed guy that the Royals want to keep off the base paths. Moustakas in at third.
Now, some of these guys that are on the Yankees have faced Shields a lot. I mean, Cano's got 75 at-bats off him, and they know James Shields, and he knows them. He's 7-14 with a 4.56 in 26 lifetime starts, and a 6 ERA over his last start. So James has had better success against other teams, but not this one.
Shields has started off the speedy Gardner 3 balls and no strikes. And then he paints the inside corner at 91 miles an hour, getting back in the count. Temperature at game time 66 degrees. It's a beautiful night in Kansas City, but the winds are roaring out of the northwest, helping left-handed batters. And that is outside, ball 4. 2 starts ago, as you see the flags roaring in right field, and that will help any left-handed batter getting the ball in the air.
Or right-handers. You can hit them out if you're righty too, but anything hit to left in center field, that wind will knock it down. So Robinson Cano is greeted with some moose calls here at the K.
Or boost calls. Gardner always a threat to go. 5 stolen bases this year in 7 attempts. Even though he was injured last year, you go back to Gardner's 2010 and 11 seasons, 47 stolen bases, 49 stolen bases. They really missed his get up and go last year.
Well, be careful, because James has a quick pickoff move. I'm sure he knows all about it, does Gardner. Quick feet, strong throws, and he's accurate with his throws too. He puts that ball right on the second base side of the bag at first.
Look at those numbers Cano has against James Shields.
Yeah, amazing. 75 ABs.
He takes a little bit upstairs and Rex. 38 players have faced James 30 or more times. There's only 1 player with a batting average over 400 against James, and it's Robinson Cano at 413.
Well, James has to get in that zone. Falling behind hitters the first 2, that's not a good sign.
Home plate umpire is Mark Wagner. Runner goes, pitch taken, Salvi throws, got him! 7th runner he has caught stealing this year.
And Gardner got an excellent jump. So it wasn't like he got a late takeaway. Look how he leaned right into that. He was off to the races, but that strong arm and accuracy of that throw, that gets anybody in the world. Big pickup there by Salvador Perez. There he is. There's some passion. Let's go. Come on, get in that zone.
To second base, Elliott Johnson will throw out Robinson Cano for the second out.
All right, nice to see Hosmer staying home on that. He likes to go after those balls in the hole there. But he locked up and said, okay, I know Johnson's got it. I got to get back to first base. You see how Eric wanted to go get that, but this is an easier play for the pitcher. Whenever Haas goes out and makes that play, it puts pressure on the pitcher to beat these guys to the base.
And with Cano pulling it to the right side, awfully important caught stealing that Perez got on Gardner, or he would be at third base now on that ground out with just one out instead, nobody on. 2 out for Vernon Wells, who was 0 for 5 last night. Wells, Hafner, Overbay, just awesome pickups. And they basically were given to them as gifts, either signing minor league contracts before spring training or deals that favored the trading club. But Wells with 7 home runs, Hafner with 6, Overbay with 6. And they are a huge reason the Yankees are in first place in the American League East at 21-13. That ball hit in the air right side. Francoeur had to come a long way battling that wind, and James with a strong first inning. Let's go! And a half back of Detroit for first place in the Central. Escobar will lead things off, then Kane and Gordon, who has been fabulous this season. Billy Butler hits fourth. Eric Hosmer, Salvador Perez, Mike Moustakas. They need them to protect Gordon and Butler. Frenchie hitting .232. Jeff Francoeur, and batting ninth, Elliott Johnson, who is 7 for 17 since April 30th. On the mound, 40-year-old Andy Pettitte. 14-3 against Kansas City in his career, but he has not pitched at the K since 2009.
Well, he's basically the same guy. And he's got a hard cutter. He'll throw a little slider occasionally. Curveballs.
Escobar with a soft line out to first.
And change-ups to righties, but his signature pitch is his cutter. Likes to jam righties with it. He'll throw it away to lefties. And, you know, he's every dominant lefty usually left-handed batters don't hit well against him. Same true with Andy Pettitte. 154. .154 is all they're hitting. 4 for 26 lefties. Righties are the ones who does the damage. They're hitting .300 with 5 home runs off him. So it's the righties that got to get something out over the plate and drive it.
Well, here is Lorenzo Cain, who's hitting .343 with a couple of triples since April 30th. You might remember he got nailed on the left arm on a pitch thrown by Phil Hughes last night. But Nick Kenny and his staff did a great job getting him back on the field. He said what they did was they put hematoma cream on the arm, on that left arm, and then put that compression sleeve on it to keep the swelling down during the game. That is slice foul back and out of play. And then after the game, they went with deep vibration therapy and an ice bath. And Lorenzo said, great job by Nick Kenny and his staff to get him to play. There's Kyle.
Guys work overtime every day. It's a tough job being a trainer for baseball.
But Rex, you really have to credit Kyle and Nick and Ryan Stoneberg and the entire staff, because the Royals have suffered very few injuries. The New York Yankees have 10 players on the disabled list. Now, granted, they're an older team. The Royals have only 2, and they're from last year. Tommy John surgeries by Danny Duffy and Felipe Paulino. There is Nick Kenny.
No, I mean, if folks knew their schedule, they would go, wow, man, I hope they get paid well, because they're at the ballpark early every day, and they stay late.
Kane a little fooled on the pitch by Andy Pettit, fouled it off, and 2-2 count.
Hey, Lorenzo's, this is his first time ever facing Andy Pettit. Try to keep it simple. Don't overthink. Wait for a mistake.
He rolls that one up the middle, but Jason Nix is there to cut it off and throw out Lorenzo.
All right, defending behind Andy Pettit are the New York Yankees. They're 7th, middle of the pack with fielding, but Ichiro Suzuki, Ichiro, one fine athlete out there. He's going to have to battle the sun. This time of the game, 6 o'clock games, it can be a killer out there when you get a line shot to you and it gets in them that sun. But Ichiro is a fabulous athlete. I showed you our right fielder, Frenchie. There's theirs. Okay, that's what Ichiro is looking at. Okay, anything that stays down low is not too bad, but if it's medium depth and on the line, be difficult. Also, with the stiff wind, going to play a big factor in tonight's game.
Here is red hot Alex Gordon. He drove in a couple of more runs last night. Now 6th in the American League in RBIs with 27, and most of those, 23 of those, came from the leadoff spot. He pulls this one foul. He has his average at 321. A single and a double. Drove in 2 yesterday. Leads the American League in multi-hit games with 16. Trying to stretch his hit streak to 7.
Pettit's going to throw lefties more breaking balls. He's got a slider that's a little smaller than his big overhand curve. This guy here, look at him. Now he's stretching his fingers. Watch him in between pitches, Fizz, out there. He stretches. He gets in a squat. He does his little sumo stretch that he does out there. There he is in between pitches. That guy's unbelievably flexible because he works on it. He does it in the on-deck circle. Now look at that. He's working his fingers. He knows his body better than the man who made him.
The 2-2 is in there. Strike 3 call. And Alex Gordon strikes out, and Pettit makes quick work of the Royals in the first. Yankee success this year. Their aces, their bullpen, Robinson Cano, the deals that they have made. How about all of the above? The Unlimited Answers Sweepstakes presented by Sprint. Vote in tonight's Unlimited Answers poll and enter for your chance to win 2 Crown Club tickets to a future Royals game courtesy of Sprint. Well, here's the leadoff batter for New York, Travis Hafner. He skies one to right field, and Jeff Francoeur makes the catch, and that is 4 up, 4 down. He did walk the leadoff batter, but Salvador Perez took care of that for James, throwing out Brett Gardner. And here is Ichiro, the flexible one. .3,915 hits in his great career, and I'm talking both Japan and the major leagues. Brilliant star in Japan in his 20s and almost better in the States. Certainly a candidate for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, for sure. I believe he'll be the first Japanese-born performer in our Hall of Fame. He's got some years left. Even if the Yankees don't have room for him, someone else will pick him up. I mean, he could be a designated hitter. That's how talented he is.
But he's so good in the field that you want him somewhere on the diamond.
Yeah, I mean, even now, but I mean, I'm saying, he's got a few more years to add on to his hit total.
He pops this one high in the air, and it looks like that fastball changeup really working. Why will you get so many pop-ups, fly balls off of a change of speed?
Because you're geared up for his fastball, because hitters have to be able to sit on the fastball. It's the hardest pitch. And then when he throws that pitch, your body comes out front, your hands are behind, you're off balance, and you pop it up. Sometimes you roll it over. It just depends on where the changeup's located.
Our Toyota leaders, Sho Iwakuma and Hernandez, have been outstanding this year, but for Kansas City, James Shields has just allowed 8.82 base runners per 9 innings. Third in the American League, and that ball hit pretty well, and Alex Gordon has to chase it down in the corner. It is off the wall, and it is a double for Jason Nix, who has had a heck of a first 2 games with a single and a double yesterday, and now a double with 2 out in the second.
That wind saved that ball from going out of the park. Anything hit like that in the air with not a lot of authority, as that ball was way in on him, that wind's going to knock it down just like it did.
Barely got it fair.
Here comes that guy that came in last night and just tore up Royals pitching.
Lyle Overbay. He was added just in the middle of spring training. They signed him to a contract, and he has been amazing for them with 20 RBIs. He went 4 for 5 yesterday with 5 RBIs. Now 36 years of age, out of Centralia, Washington. He has always been a good hitter, Rex, and a very fine defensive second baseman. But Toronto moved him to Arizona. Arizona didn't have a need for him. And then all of a sudden New York picks him up, and he has been brilliant in April, now May.
He's a lot better first baseman than he is a second baseman.
Did I say second? I beg your pardon.
That's all right.
But thanks for helping me out.
No problem. We got that one.
Well, they got him the first time, and Overbay skies it to Kane. That will do it. We head to the bottom of the second inning, where Billy Butler will lead things off. Billy Butler will lead things off. He takes a high fastball from Andy Pettit, almost a show-me pitch. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's ball game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Billy with a 3 for 27 slide. He's been working extra time both in the cages underneath the stadium and of course during batting practice. He said he wants to go more to right center field, and if he does that, he's got wind to help him.
Yeah, if a right-handed batter can just get underneath that baseball with any kind of authority and let it travel, get up in that wind pocket, it'll sneak out. But that's a good approach Billy's having. You know, that's basically always been his approach. But he needs to hit a Billy bomb big time so he can start gaining some confidence back and get the feel of that. Just like Moose. Moose is caught in fire, and Billy needs to catch fire. And the way Moose is caught in fire is he's drawn his walks, just like Billy Butler has. Billy has 20 walks this year. 3 intentionally.
And Rex, it will happen for Kansas City much like it happened for Cleveland recently. Cleveland had all 9 guys offensively just on fire, and they won 10 of 11 games. The Royals have not yet had all 9 guys clicking at the same time, and the Royals still are 18 and 14, just a game and a half back. Detroit and Cleveland playing again tonight. Swing and a miss, and down goes Billy. Second strikeout for Andy Pettit. Fans, the Royals will host our annual Faith and Family Day at the K, presented by Hobby Lobby on Saturday, May 25th versus the Angels. The event will feature speeches by current Royals players and slugger Josh Hamilton of the Angels, as well as a performance by Christian rock and worship group Crowder. Game time is at 1:10. There is a base hit up the middle by Eric Hosmer, so the Royals have their first base hit. And just to finish that off, they'll have festivities occurring with the conclusion of the game. Go to Royals.com/faith or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Salvador Perez is coming up to face Andy Pettit for the first time this year, and there's 3 things you need to know about Andy Pettit. One was that he was drafted 1 month after Salvador Perez was born. And how about the most wins in postseason history? He pitched in 5 World Series, part of 8 pennant winning teams. I mean, Rex, when you add everything up, now he doesn't have the 300 wins, he has 248, but we're talking about Hall of Fame numbers when you incorporate the complete package.
I mean, what are the Yankees going to do with all their numbers already retired? A lot of the lower digits retired. You know Pettit's going to be retired. Jeter's number is going to be retired. I mean, Mariano's going to be retired. So they're not going to have any numbers left to give players.
Up the middle by Salvador. The Royals with 2 on with 1 out. Well, I don't think they're going to have a problem retiring Mariano Rivera's number.
It already
every
is.
major league team has.
You're right.
It's Jackie Robinson's old number.
That's right. So the Royals got a little something going here now. And these are balls that should be hit. They're out over the plate. And nice to see Salvador direct one right back where it came from. That tells you you're right on it. Moose, last home run he hit off a lefty was in Baltimore. So he's got a little bit of ability. He overall is just 0 for 3 lifetime against Pettit.
It was the first pitch he saw from T.J. McFarland, and he hit it down that right field line. And the wind is roaring out towards right at 20 to 25 miles an hour. Ball 1. Eric Hosmer had just the 5th hit by a left-hander this year off Pettit. He's at second base. Now 2-0. Good plate discipline by Moustakas. He swung at that high fastball against Phil Hughes yesterday.
Can I give you the body language report on Moose?
Go ahead.
He looks very confident. He's up, he's chewing gum. Maybe that's the difference. No, he's relaxed.
I see that.
Yeah. That's what the pitcher sees. Hey, the pitchers see that. That's the premium language spoken. Hey, last night, here we go. Moose has a little bit of a rock back where he loads up. He goes back just a little bit, then he comes forward, and he's coming forward with his hands, not his body. That's the important thing. Get those hands get out in front, not the body.
Yeah, they thought he was really drifting early this year, but now his weight is back, balance good. Tried to check his swing, but he went. And once again, Pettit, you said, would throw more curves to left-handers. Why?
It's because it's harder to hit, Fizz. The ball breaks away from lefties. It's not, it's hard. And right-handers, the same thing. Whenever that ball's breaking away from you, the tendency is to pull your shoulder off of it, and therefore you don't get much on the swing.
Breaks his bat. Rolls it to second. They've got one, but they will not get Moustakas. Runners in the corners with 2 out.
Boy, Pettit got into Moose's kitchen there. Jammed it. Salvi did a good job of stopping. He's thinking Cano was going to tag him. Make him complete it. And that was the toss was a little bit soft, so he didn't have time to turn 2 on it.
Well, of all the Royals, the one who has had the most success against Andy Pettit is stepping up right now. Jeff Francoeur, 6 for 11 in his career with 1 home run. Ball 1.
Okay, everybody knows in the league that Pettit has one of the greatest pickoffs ever. So no, not too many guys get off the base, and therefore he doesn't have a lot of pickoffs because he's so quick.
As a matter of fact, Rex, he has the most pickoffs, 102 in the majors, since they became an official stat in 1974. And it's almost a move that looks like this close. We're talking like an inch from a balk.
That's what makes these guys the best. They take that little line that their foot can't cross the edge of the rubber, and they know right where it is. That ain't gonna work.
Royals lead 2, and we head to the 3rd inning. A 0-0 ball game at Kauffman Stadium. Try pasta the Panera way. Live consciously, eat deliciously, and buy Ford. See the new F-150 at your Midwest Ford dealer today. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery with you at Kauffman Stadium. James Shields to face the bottom of the order. That means Chris Nelson and Chris Stewart. And Andy Pettit, when he came in last time, he was a little chapped at himself, even though he was able to get the Royals out without allowing a run.
He's intense.
Well, he had not pitched well in his previous 2 starts against Houston and Oakland.
It's because he hasn't had a good feel for his cutter. And for Pettit to say that is unusual.
Nelson had 2 hits last night. Drove in 2. Now 27 years of age, out of Decatur, Georgia. He was Colorado Rockies first-round pick in 2004 and was able to finally make it to the big leagues a couple of seasons ago, and last year had a pretty good year with the Rockies, hitting .301 with 9 home runs, but then moved to the Yanks.
Somebody that's adequate enough to just make the plays at third. Hit a little bit if you can. They're hopeful that Alex Rodriguez will be able to return.
Past Moustakas down the line. Gordon over quickly. Nelson trying for 2. Here's the throw. Not in time. A leadoff double for Nelson.
Inside fastball, pulled his hands in, laced it right by Moose. That ball was a little bit out over the plate. And it was a little bit of an off-speed pitch. That's the reason why Nelson was out in front of that. Was able to pull it. Gordon got to that ball quickly. Would have taken it. Perfect throw right on the bag to get it. Pretty easy thinking here for this situation for Chris Stewart. Get him over to third. Hit something to the right side or bunt it.
Stewart tried that and bunts it foul. Stewart is facing Shields for the very first time. Even though Chris, a veteran who's bounced around throughout his career, this is his 3rd stint with the Yankees. He's gone from the White Sox to Texas to the Yankees, back to the White Sox, back to the Yankees, San Diego, San Francisco, and now again in New York. The bunt try popped up. Shields has it. 1 out.
Every day is a learning opportunity for fans, for broadcasters, and for big leaguers. And in between innings, James Shields was helping Salvador. Okay, Salvy's a young man, 23 years young. James Shields says, hey, look, this is kind of where I like you to sit. I want you to kind of put your hands out here or do this or that. Anyway, he's helping Salvy. He's helped teaching him some things. And earlier we noticed, some of the positions that Salvy was in. Okay, there's one there. And then he went with the 1 knee down. And then he went with the typical squat. But whatever it is, we're all learning. These guys are the world's greatest. It doesn't keep you from learning.
Jason Kendall, who's a former Royals catcher, now works in the organization, he said he talks to Salvador every single day, and the young man is an absolute sponge, willing to work, particularly willing to work and learn from the veterans like Kendall or James Shields. Last night's 11-6 loss ended a 6-game stretch of quality starts. Salvador, a big reason why. His game calling, the way he blocks balls in the dirt, helped James out in the first by throwing out Brett Gardner.
Oh, that could have easily bunched together a run. The Yankees could have had Salvy not hose the guy out.
Gardner pops it up. Moustakas wants it and will take it for out number 2. That's 6 pop-ups already, Rex, not yet in 3 innings.
That's a good sign. He's got him off balance. Whatever it takes to kind of hold him down.
And the boos come down for Robinson Cano because he did not select Billy Butler, the Royal star, for the home run derby and last year's All-Star game at the K. Robinson, a delightful young man and probably baseball's best second baseman. That is one of the major concerns, Rex, of the New York management in the future. What kind of contract did they give Robinson Cano after they gave mega million-dollar contracts to Alex Rodriguez and Mark Teixeira?
Whatever the market wants to pay him. These guys are performers. You only have so many years as a baseball player or an athlete. Take, for example, when if you were an actor or an actress, you could make movies till you're 60, 70 years old. These guys only have a small window, and they perform and they bring people to ball games. It's entertainment, so they're worth anything that ownership wants to write them a check for.
Well, he's no longer with Scott Boras. He's now with Jay-Z and his group.
Yep, that's big business.
Well, here's an interesting thought, though, Rex. Let's say you give a guy a 10-year contract, like Albert Pujols, who is not going to have the kind of career he had in St. Louis, in Anaheim, because of his health. If you sign a contract like that, you're almost guaranteeing that the player will be booed in his home ballpark at the end of his career. Seriously.
Yeah, but players don't care about being booed. They just care about the 1st and the 15th, Fizz.
Oh, and a terrible throw allows the Yankees to score. The Royals have not defended well at all this week, and Mike Moustakas' 6th error of the season costs them a run.
Cano is not the fastest runner. Moose had a little bit of time. Comes right to him. Okay, he spun around. He looked like he was having a hard time with the grip. And was just way off the mark. Had plenty of time.
You cannot give these Yankees extra outs.
Can't give any good baseball teams out extra outs.
Wells to center field. Lorenzo Cain, with the wind pushing it to right center, is able to pull it down. But one unearned run, and New York claims the early lead. Is Adrian Trotter. Nearly 2 years ago, Adrian was a high school track star diagnosed with lymphoma and began chemotherapy treatment. Then 1 year ago, doctors at the University of Kansas Center were able to find a donor to match Adrian and perform a successful blood stem cell transplant. And today, thanks to Dr. Sunil Abhyankar, who is sitting right next to him, and other specialists, Adrian is in complete remission and plans to pursue his lifelong dream of becoming a police officer. We welcome to the K.
It's so great to hear stories like that. No wonder that seat's so special. Only special people get to sit in them or next to them, like the good doctor.
Elliott Johnson got one on the hands. Was that the cut fastball you were talking about that abandoned him and Houston and Oakland?
Yeah, he just didn't have a feel for it. And like a lot of pitchers, if you don't locate, hitters let you know.
He gave up 11 runs in 9 1/3 innings in those 2 games, and this is a slow roller that is hugging the grass, and a base hit for Elliott Johnson.
All right, there's your number 9 hitter getting on board. Almost looked like that he fouled it off his foot. Looked a little funky there, but obviously the umpire's all over that. He would have seen that. Ooh. It kind of looked like it hit off his toe. I'm not going to say anything. And he just kept going. That's what you do.
Myceris didn't say anything when he hit a ground ball that the umpire thought hit off of his foot. Joe Madden went crazy and got thrown out of the game. And the replay showed it missed his foot by about 5 feet.
Or a foot, Fizz. Now, come on.
No, I think it was more than that.
Well, look, anyway, it was a great acting job by Myceris.
Yeah.
It was tremendous. He kind of gave it a little hobble. Umpires don't like that, especially when you trick them.
No, it was the one where he grounded out to second, and the ball wasn't even close to his foot. Well, they know Johnson does have good speed. Elliott 2 for 2 stealing bases this year. And Pettit entices a lot of double plays because.
Right. Let's slow it down here.
Oh, okay.
I just want to see if that did hit his toe. Now it looks suspicious.
He goes. And no chance to get Elliott Johnson because Chris Stewart forgot the baseball. He dropped it at his feet. And that is 3 for 3, Elliott, with stolen bases this year.
Okay, you have to manage what you have. Ned has guys that can run. Nice to see him give him the steal sign and get into scoring position with nobody out. Excellent takeaway. He's got very nice speed. Escobar can bunt or slap the ball to the right side, or he could pull it and get a base hit and get him in. Either way to get him over there.
He did attempt to go to right field his first time out and hit a soft line drive to Lyle Overbay. With Overbay in now with a 3-0 count, well, now Lyle backs up a bit.
Yeah, but Fizz, look, you don't have to hit balls this way. Look at the holes here. You can get them over and in.
No, I was just talking at 2-0. Overbay was on the edge of the grass. And there is a strike thrown to Escobar, 3-1.
Yeah, I just want to make a point, though. Managers like to see the hitter attempt to move him over to first. But if you get a pitch right down the middle on the inner half,
sure,
why not pull it?
Another slow roller. Nelson guns down Escobar. Johnson will take third, so it is a productive out, and the Royals trying to manufacture a run here in the third inning. Infield hit, a stolen base, now a ground out.
Swinging bunt will work. Just hit on top of it. The 11 runs scored by the Yankees last night was the most since they've scored since April 9th. However, in Pettit's last 3 starts, he just received 1 run from his offense, and that's what's up there right now. Maybe Shields can hold him there.
The corners are in. Middle infield back, and the pitch well high. 1 ball, no strikes. Pettit has struck out 2 in the game, and 1 was Gordon, the other is Butler.
Every time a hitter comes to the plate, there's a situation where there's nobody on or there's a runner at third with 1 out like here. You see where the defense is playing you. Corners are in. Try to focus up the middle. Just try to hit the ball right back up the middle. Or get up underneath it. Look for a pitch up, sac fly, or even more.
Lorenzo Cain has done a nice job in this situation. 4 out of 7. That is hit to short. Only play first base. The Royals do tie the game as Johnson checks in from third, and a good job by Lorenzo staying, like you said, HUD up the middle.
All right, Elliott Johnson got on, stole second. Escobar got him over to third. Another ground ball in. That's how you manufacture a run.
Alex Gordon struck out looking his first time up. Pettit really worked him with curveball after curveball and starts him off with a hook for strike one. This is Andy Pettit's 25th game against Kansas City. 14 wins, only 3 losses. And there, he takes a lot off of that breaking ball at 83 miles an hour, and now has Gordon down 1 and 2.
Well, left-handers, though, Fizz, they've only gotten 4 hits off Pettit all year.
5, including that Hosmer hit.
Right, 5. But Gordon, he hasn't had any trouble with left-handers this year. He's hitting .440 with 3 homers coming into this game. He does that with he's able to keep his shoulder in on lefties, because they all throw them, left-handed pitchers throw left-handed hitters breaking balls away from him. So he's able to direct that ball to the opposite field.
Down goes Alex. Down go the Royals. We head to the 4th inning as KC does tie it with New York. Join us for the next summer fireworks on Friday, May 24th versus the Angels. Stay after the game for a fireworks show, courtesy of Hy-Vee and Pepsi. Plus, it's Buck Night. Hot dogs, peanuts, and small soft drinks are just $1. Go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets for summer fireworks and Buck Night. How about that, man? They got it going on.
Gotta have one of those.
You know what the name of that hat is? Down in Front.
Yeah, the wind's blowing. It's a wind detector.
That's how we're getting our wind speed indicator from 20 to 25 miles an hour.
Yeah,
and the baby is texting it to Steve Kurtenbach, our director. That's right, bro. James Shields' 0-1 pitch is pulled towards the right side. Going to be a tough play, and they're not going to be able to get Travis Hafner. And this might be the first base hit that Hafner has had, Rex, to the right side where he rolled the ball for a 7-10 split.
Yep. James took off after that ball. Okay. And I think that shied Hosmer away from coming and getting that. Because he could tell where Elliott Johnson was playing. There was nobody there. So technically, Hosmer would call James off and direct him towards the base. And field it and flip it to him.
That baseball had eyes.
Yeah, those are the things that you have to read, though. You know, those are instincts right there.
Now a dangerous hitter in Ichiro Suzuki. James was able to pop him up his first time to second base. But Ichiro had 3 hits yesterday and was only a triple shy of the cycle. A single, double, and a home run in the second inning, deep into the New York bullpen. Suzuki, now 39 years of age, out of Kobe, Japan.
He used to be really hard to double up because he gets out of that box so quickly. He's ground into 3 this year.
He went out to the 2-0 pitch, and it almost seemed like he was waiting for it to finally arrive at home plate, as it looked like a fastball was coming out of the hand of James, and then it put the brakes on. It seemed like when it got to home plate. Hafner does not run ever. No steal attempts this year. And Ichiro tries to bunt his way on. Moustakas was playing him shallow at third, about 2 steps off the infield grass. To short, Escobar will get Hafner. They have no chance to get Suzuki, but now Speed is at first base with 1 out. Suzuki stole his 5th base of the season last night. New York knocked off Kansas City 11-6. James Shields trying to stop the bleeding as Kansas City has lost 4 of their last 5. There's Jason Nix, who has 3 hits in the series. Also with a couple of walks. Have you noticed any adjustments by Salvador Perez in his receiving of James Shields this inning after the 2 got together in between frames?
No. Haven't really noticed anything drastic that he's doing or wasn't doing. Those are just moments that happen in the game, Fizz, between the battery mates. They talk about it. We're not privy to that stuff, but we can just show the fact that Salvi's has the ability to learn, and also, you know, his game retention his retention for the game plan is awesome. There's a great attempt on Suzuki. Keeps those runners close with his quick feet and the accuracy of his throws. Look where he puts this ball. Perfect spot for Hosmer to tag him. Ooh, that was really close.
Nice pickup by Hosmer. That is down the line, and Suzuki might make it all the way to third.
Look at that replay. You know, there's just the reason that there's more scrutinizing over the umpires is because of all of the camera angles and all the slow motion stuff. But you know what? They're still the best officiating guys of all sports, in my opinion.
Rex, I'm always amazed at when our producer director Joe Lavera and Steve Kurtenbach give us the replay, and I'm thinking the guy's out or the guy's safe, and the umpire's right. I mean, it has been a rough week for umpires in Major League Baseball. No question about that. What took place in Cleveland and Houston this week. Field and Colbreth getting a 2-game suspension. And that was about not knowing Rule 305B, where a relief pitcher came in and before he even threw a pitch or was able to make an out.
You know,
they made a pitching change, and that's against the rules.
A basketball official can see the foul; he can hear it. You know, these guys are calling, you know, an imaginary strike zone. You know, it's just a very difficult job that they have. I loved MLB last night. Harold Reynolds, a good friend of mine, and I really loved how he broke it down. And he let
what did he say?
He let the people say, "You make the call," and they showed the play and they froze it right before this play happened. They said, okay, you make the call. Or actually when he touched the base or whatever. And they went back, and a lot of the panelists were like, wow, man, that's hard to tell. But,
exactly.
But the umpires were right all the time. So it was a great breakdown they had.
And I also think it's interesting, Rex, a pitcher can throw a fastball right down the middle, and a batter swings and fouls it back. Now, the pitcher made a mistake because he didn't throw the ball where he wanted to, and the hitter missed a mistake. So we accept that because they're human. But umpires and referees, we expect absolute perfection. And 99% of the time, they are right. Base hit left field. Suzuki stops at second. Jason Nix remains hot. Who is this guy? Who are these guys? They have so many stars in the disabled list, and the replacements are picking them up. Jason Nix, and they playing the role of Keanu Reeves from the movie The Replacements.
Hey, look, he's a big league baseball player, Fizz. He's been around.
I know that.
And he waits his turn, and he's the kind of guy that's an extra, utility guy, and he fills in when someone goes down. And he's done an admirable job at shortstop, third, second, wherever you want to put that kid. He's impressing me, Jason Nix.
And now, James Shields called out Salvador Perez on how he wants to attack Lyle Overbay, who had the 4 hits and 5 RBIs yesterday. He'd love to get the ball down and entice Overbay, who does not run that well, to hit into an inning-ending double play.
You know, that's Nix's. Nix is 4 for 6 off of James Shields with 2 homers. He came into tonight's game 2 for 4 off of Shields with 2 homers, both of those. He feels pretty good facing Shields.
First pitch curve, swing and a miss.
Change up.
Change up, strike 2. He has not thrown him the fastball yet.
Even that sinking fastball away from him will bring a ground ball if he tries to pull it. Perfect spot.
Keep it down. Overbay has seen 79 and now 86.
Yankees hitting just .232 as a team with a runner in scoring position. Overbay .241. Compared to the Royals .310 batting average with runners in scoring position. Big difference, but the Yankees make up with the homers.
In there, strike 3 call. He surprised him with the fastball after mainly throwing off-speed pitches to set him up. Get download up to 50 megabits per second with Time Warner Cable Ultimate Internet. James is topped out at 93. Andy Pettit at 91. A 1-1 ball game here in the 4th. The Yankees scored on a Moustakas error in the 3rd. Plating Chris Nelson. The Royals countered, manufacturing a run in their last inning. Now Nelson comes up. He was the guy who doubled just past Moustakas to lead off the 3rd. Went to 3rd eventually and scored on Mike's error. The Royals scored their run in the third on an infield hit by Elliott Johnson, who then stole second base, went to third on Escobar's ground out, and scored on Kane's ground out. Good block by Salvador. James does have 5 wild pitches this year. 3 of them came in one game against Detroit in that terrific pitching matchup against Justin Verlander. Ichiro reached on the fielder's choice. Nelson takes a strike, and that evens the count. Did they call that a ball? It should be 2-2. Yes, it is. It was up on the scoreboard at 3-1. But Mark Wegner just held up 2 fingers on each hand and said 2-2, guys. James wants the signs again. Shields Pettit tonight. Tomorrow afternoon at the K. Santana against Kuroda. Nelson skies it in the air. Right field. Easy play for Jeff Francoeur. And James Shields gets out of trouble in the 4th.
Taking care of business.
Will face Billy Butler. Billy is 4 for 14 with 1 home run against Pettit in his past. He did strike out swinging first time up. The pitch much like that. This time Billy lets it go, and it's ball 1. Butler 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. He is again looking for his 500th RBI. Only a matter of time where he starts heating up.
Yeah, and he's not used to hitting 143 against lefties either. Just one of his 3 homers is against a lefty.
Well, if Andy makes a mistake middle away. He hits one deep, way deep, center field. There's RBI number 500, and Billy just hit it a ton.
A Billy bomb with some barbecue sauce on it. That's right, Biz, and it's about time. Good to see Billy. You just said middle away. Didn't have to be. He said, you know what, I'm going to go against the teeth of the wind. I'm going to get underneath that baseball, and a hurricane wouldn't keep this one in the yard. And like most hitters, he knew he got it.
Rex, you have an expression you use for many, many years. He leaned on that one. Well, he sure did on that baby. Home run number 4 and RBI number 20 this year at 500 in his terrific Kansas City career.
Short stride. Ball was elevated. So when it's already elevated, all you got to do is put a good level swing on it. And when you're strong like Billy, you can do that.
Eric Hosmer, meantime, strikes out. Billy talking with Elliott Johnson about middle away and what you can do into the teeth of a wind. He hit it well over 400 feet. I think it was like 415 at part of the ballpark. They're calling 414, so I was a foot off. That's the tail of the tape. Kansas City has their first lead at 2-1. They were trailing 1-0, so this is an attempt for their 13th comeback this year. James, you got your lead. Go get them. Perez has been putting himself in better counts, and during the pregame show we showed you a graphic of what Salvador Perez has done this year when he has had a positive count. And now it's a 2-0 count. Here are those numbers. After a 2-0 count, he's hitting 222. But then, Rex, my goodness, look at 385, 500. He went after a pitch that he probably would like to have back because that was well out of his zone, and he pulled it and grounds out. So there's 2 gone in the 4th inning. Moustakas up, reached on a fielder's choice, but left stranded when Jeff Brancourt grounded out. Royals with a run in the 3rd to tie it. Now a home run by Billy Butler for a 2-1 lead. Trying to tease Moose with that fastball. Pettit has now thrown 62 pitches on the evening, trying to finish the 4th inning. 1-2.
A good sweeping slider away. He jammed Moose in his last at bat in on his hands with a hard fastball.
Mike tried to check his swing, could not, and he is strikeout victim number 5 for Andy Pettit. But Billy Butler goes deep. Hud, did you ever hit one this far?
Never.
Golf course once.
He hit it a ton.
For the best deals on new Ford cars and trucks, visit thoroughbredford.com today. Royals lead it 2-1. Steve Physiok, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery at Kauffman Stadium, where a tremendous crowd is on hand, and they are enjoying a great duel between James Shields and Andy Pettitte. The Royals now with their first lead after the Butler home run, and we start the 5th inning. And here is Chris Stewart. Fastball dots the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now it's 1-2. And Stewart, a veteran, 31 years of age, out of Fontana, California. Just 5 hits in his last 25 at bats to see that batting average drop near 240. And then James, 1-2, advantage with the count, comes inside and hits Chris Stewart. And as the umpire gives him a new baseball, James snaps at it. He's mad at himself.
Yeah, but right now he's looking at Escobar saying, all right, me and you are working on a ball back to me. Me and you. May not be the correct English, but that's what ball players do. Now that got him right either in the latissimus dorsi or the tricep. Looked like the tricep. I call that lat muscle there, that back muscle, I call that the hood of the cobra.
I know you do.
Yeah. A lot of pitchers, when they miss, they like to hit you there. But if you do your wide grip chin-ups in the offseason and you build that muscle up, you take that, spit on it, and sprint to first base. It doesn't hurt you.
That's exactly what I do when I work out. I do my wide pull-ups, I spit and run to first base.
There you go.
Brett Gardner's going to be tough to double. Moustakas in at third. Hosmer holding the runner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yankees have usually been able to get to James. He's only 7-14 against the Yankees in his career with a 4.5 ERA. Obviously, a lot of those early knockdowns came early in his career when Tampa Bay was not very good.
Yeah, and you know, all those numbers that he's accumulated over his career against the Yankees, they're not the best mark. It's 7-14 in 26 starts. You can throw those out. He's in a new uniform. He's the captain of this team, basically from the starting pitcher standpoint. And he's their ace. He feels the load of Kansas City on his shoulders.
12 years in the Rays organization. Foul. And quite frankly, Rex, James has been better than advertised. When you look at the entire package of what he does in the mound, the leadership in the clubhouse, you and I have got to know him just personally away from the ballpark, and the travel. I mean, we were talking yesterday about the humor he brought up. He seems to be one of those people who takes his job very seriously, but not himself. And he helps loosen up that clubhouse.
Yes, he does. As advertised. But he's a bulldog out there for sure.
Two balls, 2 strikes. All of a sudden, that fastball has gotten away from him. He's been up and away from the left-handed batters. He had Gardner down in the count. Now it's full 3-2.
He's trying to be too fine. Maybe he's overthrowing a little.
Got him.
Well, if there was any thinking about sending Chris Stewart, they're not gonna. That's 31 strikeouts now. So you don't want to send a guy when you have the hitter's got a high strikeout total. You strike him out, throw him out, take him out of an inning.
Now Shields to face the man who has had the most success against him in the past, Robinson Cano. Popped up to right field, flied out to center field in his 2 at-bats. Or excuse me, reached on that error by Moustakas in his last at-bat that allowed Nelson to score. Strike 1.
He's grounded into a team-leading 5 double plays. Shields would love it if you'd do it for a 6th time.
Both of his base hits yesterday were to left field. Earlier we asked the Sprint Unlimited question, and an unlimited answer: aces, bullpen, Cano, deals. What is the key to the Yankees' success? And 52% said the deals, the acquisition of guys like Wells and Hafner and Overbay.
I agree with him.
The Yankees with 10 players in the disabled list, including 4 stars. In the air, center field. Kane comes on. He will make the catch for the 2nd out. And James hitting the batter. Chris Stewart has not hurt him yet. He's battled back to strike out Brett Gardner on a 3-2 fastball. Got Robinson Cano, their best hitter, on a fly ball to center field. And Vernon Wells, who's still looking for his first hit of this series, going 0 for 7. He was one of the acquisitions that Brian Cashman made. Vernon Wells couldn't get a sniff of playing time with the Angels, and he's hitting 3rd and at times 4th for the Yankees.
But he's healthy and he's getting playing time, and he's in a prominent position in that batting order. And he's a veteran guy. He's established. He's confident. It's something that wasn't happening out where he came from the Angels in his last stop.
I asked Joe Girardi what his most difficult challenge managing this year, and he says, I have to manage health. He says, I have to manage the injuries, and I also have to manage older players, when to give them time off.
And it helps the nice career he had as a catcher. He knows what it's all about.
A 3-0 count to Wells. James has now thrown 73 pitches, trying to get through the 5th. 41 strikes, 32 balls. He's walked 1. He's hit a batter. The run he allowed unearned. 3-1. Seven of his 8 starts this year against the opponent's best. 7 different all-stars.
Oh,
that is belted high and deep. Gordon going back, and see you later. 8th home run by Vernon Wells.
Second time he's homered off of Shields in his career. Two heavyweight pitchers. I mean, this is a heavyweight fight. Who's going to blink? Who's going to get the big punch in? And right there, on hardly a stride at all, just using all of his hands, as strong as Vernon Wells was, he barreled that up and he knew he got it.
So Shields does pay for hitting the batter Chris Stewart. He scores the tying run. Wells gives him the go-ahead at 3-2.
And you know, you fall behind 3-0, then 3-1. He knows what's coming in there. It's going to be over the plate no matter what the pitch is.
Travis Hafner reached on an infield hit his last time up. Three defenders in the right side, one on the left. Hafner gets it high in the air. Francoeur, about 15 feet from the foul line, pulls it down, but one batter too late. Shields had the lead coming into the inning, down 3-2, heading out. Jeff Francoeur will lead things off for Kansas City. Andy Pettit dots the outside corner for strike one. Jeff grounded out to the mound his first time up. Now he's down 0-2, and you can come out on Thursday home games to support Francoeur and his fan seating section. $21 gets you a seat in the right field cheering section, a new limited edition Frenchie Quarter t-shirt, and Mardi Gras beads. Get your tickets now at Royals.com/Frenchie. And this is where the Yankees have really been good as you take a look at those Frenchie Quarter t-shirts. The Yankees are 13-4 in games decided by 2 runs or less. In the air, left side, long run. Vernon Wells, he will get there for the first out. Headed from Deer Park, Texas, grew up outside Houston, but was a Rangers fan because of Nolan Ryan. That was his hero. Elliott Johnson reached on an infield hit, stole second, and scored on a ground out later by Lorenzo Cain. That tied the game. Butler homered to give Kansas City a brief lead, and Vernon Wells went deep in the top half of this inning for a 3-2 lead.
You know, Andy has 4 children. His oldest son, Joshua, is going to Baylor as a freshman, and he's a pitcher. Andy told me yesterday he's got a chance to get drafted.
And our ATT U-verse rewind is back to a manufactured run.
Okay, you get on any way you can. Steal second on a straight steal. Great jump, no contest. Get him over, get him in. Escobar, a little topper. Escobar came up, did the same thing. Got Elliott Johnson over there to third, and then the ground ball by Cain. Got the Royals on the board.
Johnson went after a bad pitch and strikes out. So 2 down here in the 5th inning. We talked about the bottom of the order in our pregame show, and Moustakas, Francoeur, and Johnson 1 for 6 in this game. That 1 hit and infield hit by Johnson we just showed you, and his steal and his run scored. But Pettit with 6 strikeouts. And here is Escobar, who is lined out and grounded out. There's a base hit. Royals now even with the Yankees on base hits. They each have 5, but the Yanks have 1 more run. Well, New York got some 2-out thunder from Vernon Wells in the 5th inning. Their half of the 5th. Maybe the Royals could do the same with Escobar getting a single. And Lorenzo Cain, he hit a home run earlier in April, but has not gone deep since. That 1 home run came in that 4-hit game he had against the Boston Red Sox. And that was 58, 59 at bats ago.
Escobar is 7 for 7 this year in stolen bases. Pettit, that was just a hey, I know you're over there move. He's got a better one, a lot better. And that was his second best move. He still hasn't given him his good one.
When Johnson stole, did he go on first movement?
I think he did. First movement means that whenever that lefty just picks his foot up, you take off. See, there's his good one. A lot of people here think that's a balk. If you go on first movement and he throws over to first, just keep on going. Put the pressure on the first baseman to make an accurate throw.
There's that cut fastball. The inside corner. Lorenzo, we told you, got hit in the arm. That's why he's wearing that heavy wrap on his left arm. But, man, he was crushing the ball in pregame today during batting practice. He said it still is painful. Rex, I was talking with him about sometimes when you're not 100%, it forces you to focus that much better, and he's hoping that would be the case today. His ground out tied the game in the 3rd.
You know, Pettit doesn't hang his leg up there, okay? He's not a lefty that holds that leg up there and then lets the runner take off. He's compact, so let's Johnson. Okay, he didn't go on first movement. He waited till his knee was already up before he took off, and he took a chance there. You go on first movement, that's 100% gamble, but a pretty good chance you're going to make it. Kenny Rogers, Mark Langston, Terry Mulholland, some of the great lefties in the past defensively, they had excellent moves, and you really had to study them. And lots of times it was just a guess. Sometimes I'm going to take a chance here. Some base runners will take a step off of first and peek in and see if they can see more than one finger go down from the catcher. And that means a breaking ball, and that's when you want to go, because it takes longer for a breaking ball to get to the plate than it does a fastball. There's a lot of little tricks you can learn over there.
Do you like Escobar going on an 0-2 count? Maybe even if he's thrown out, gives Cain and
absolutely
bat.
I'd like to see him attempt earlier, but yeah, if he gets thrown out, then you got Cain leading off.
Esky does not go, and the pitch rides inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You really have to have, as a hitter, facing Pettit, you got to really discipline yourself on that inside pitch, because the cutter's going to cut at the last minute. His slider's going to break down and under your bat. It's a tough one to lay off of. See Overbay blowing on his fingers. It's a little chilly.
66 degrees at first pitch. Good patience by Lorenzo thus far. He was down 0-2, now a full count. This will allow Escobar to go, and if Kane can hit one in the gap or down the line, Escobar could score the tying run. Fastball, foul. They have been playing him to pull on the infield.
It's a totally different situation now. 3-2, 2 outs into the runner. Just make sure the pitcher goes home. You're not interested in getting the break to steal. You just want to get a move. In case he gaps one, you might have a chance to score.
In the dirt, Lorenzo Kane will walk with 2 out. So Kansas City has 2 on with 2 out. And Alex Gordon, who's one of the best in baseball with men in scoring position coming up, and he has had a dickens of a time against Andy Pettitte tonight. Twice striking out, once looking, once swinging.
Excellent plate appearance right there by Kane. Lorenzo Kane, he milked that walk. That was a very disciplined at bat. Keep this inning going here. If Gordon can somehow chip one in, credit Kane for that. Keep the line moving.
9th walk for Lorenzo Kane. Alex Gordon, we told you, hitting .500 with runners in scoring position this year. 15 for 30. He had a booming double over the head of Vernon Wells, who's backed up deeper than he was yesterday when Gordon hit one over his head off of right-handed pitcher Phil Hughes. He rolls that one to second base, and Robbie Cano quickly tosses him out. The Royals are done in the 5th, and Pettitte gets out of another jam. To the 6th we go, 3-2 Yankees.
Lewis today, where Adam Wainwright flirting with a no-hitter in the 8th, finally broken up, but they shut out the Colorado Rockies. That following a shutout yesterday when Shelby Miller had 27 straight retired. This was the highlight of the day for a lot of people that were on hand to listen to a private chat with the great Mariano Rivera, and we were lucky enough, a few of us, Jeff Montgomery, Nate Bucati, and myself, to be in there today, and we're allowed to have the cameras in there. They didn't want the conversation recorded. It was just a private deal with Mariano and some fans that locally here have overcome some adversity or dealing with adversity. And guys, I got to tell you, in my years of baseball, I know Mike Swanson, the Royals Vice President of Broadcasting, 35 years of baseball, and you see him in the background there, said, never seen anything like it. It was incredible. Mariano, this is his idea, his sort of farewell tour, is sitting down with different groups of people in every city, private gatherings. It was a group of veterans in Tampa Bay. It's been with grounds crews or stadium workers. And guys, it was really incredible. You've heard what a gentleman he is. You know what a gentleman he is. He did as much asking of the questions and finding out about these people as they did him, and really engaging them and hearing their stories and consoling families who have lost loved ones. And you know, he said that he wasn't going to go out the way he did last year with the injury in left center field here before the game. And he also said if it weren't for that injury, as we see a bad swing there from Ichiro to strike out, but if it weren't for that injury, he wouldn't be here with these people today, sharing this moment. And I promise you that everyone that was in that room will remember this day for the rest of their lives. And what's more amazing to me, guys, just sitting in there and listening to his stories and watching him engaged and looking everyone in the eye, was that I think Mariano might have gotten as much out of this as the people did in that room. He will treasure those stories and those moments. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
He is one of those unusual young people who believes you get what you give. And Mariano Rivera has given a lot throughout his life.
Thanks for that story, Joel. That's outstanding. That warms my heart. But, you know, when you have a big heart like his, he wants to give and not take.
Now the batter, Jason Nix.
Well, Jason Nix just very comfortable against James Shields. He didn't flinch on that inside fastball.
Right at the letters. Jason Nix, 4 for 6 with a couple of home runs in his career against James Shields. He is 2 for 2 today with a double and a single. James pitching him like a superstar, very carefully. Now has a 3-1 count. He walked the leadoff man, Brett Gardner, but Salvador Perez threw him out trying to steal. And now he walks him. So Nix has been a heck of a guy to get out in this series. He has a couple of 3 walks now. He has 4 hits. Well, fans, Major League Baseball and People Magazine are looking for veterans in our community. 30 veterans, 1 to represent each Major League Baseball team, will be recognized at the 2013 All-Star Game July 16th on Fox. To nominate, go to tributeforheroes.com. And here was a tough out last night, but Shields has been able to solve Overbay twice, and one in a critical situation with runners in the corners in inning number 4. But he struck out Overbay and then got Nelson in a fly ball to right. Strike 1. Shields' next pitch will be his 90th. 51 strikes, 38 have missed.
James Shields has pride in going deep in games. He likes to save bullpens, which makes managers happy. He's not all in it for him. He thinks of others, especially his teammates.
That's up the middle. And they do not get him.
There was some miscommunication there between Escobar and Johnson. Got to get it out there. Johnson's playing him to pull, so he's got a long way to come. He hesitates a little bit there because Escobar came over in his territory. If Eske's going to go over there, he needs to call him off. I got it, and get it out.
The Royals have not defended well this week.
No, that's a mental mistake.
Ed Yost continues to play that merry-go-round with the second baseman, whether it's Chris Getz or Elliott Johnson. Elliott's had a lot of playing time the last week and a half. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Elliott gets it, steps on second, throws to first, and Johnson bails out James Shields with a sparkling 4-3 double play. And James goes, "That's what I'm talking about."
Yeah, so try it again. Almost identical, except it's hit a little harder. And this time Johnson says, "I can do this." Help him out.
Last time up, he belted one 414 feet to center field, gave Kansas City a very short 2-1 lead. And then Vernon Wells hit one out. And New York has claimed the 3-2 advantage. In the sixth inning is our Sonic Slam inning. And our contestant is Bob Marshall from Gardner, Kansas. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Bob will win $100. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Bob will win $25 grand from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
So Andy coming right out, challenging Billy.
500 RBIs in his career, and he chases a fastball away from him and strikes out. 7 strikeouts already for Andy Pettitte.
He didn't mess around. He threw strike 1, strike 2, and strike 3, and Billy don't swing at that. He'd have been out anyway.
Andy did have a 10 strikeout game in only 6 innings against Tampa Bay, but suffered a 3-0 loss in that one. Gave up 7 runs to Houston in 4 1/3, and 4 in his last outing to Oakland in 5 innings. Hosmer to second. 2 quick outs. Right now they're helping Andy Pettitte stay around with some quick innings. And he has just gone over the, well, his next pitch will be his 90th. Needed 4 pitches in this inning. Salvador Perez has a single his first time up, a ground out in the 4th, and he takes the first pitch.
He's got a good rhythm going this inning here. He's getting that ball and firing it in there. Cutters, sliders, change-ups to righties. Big curves to lefties.
To third, Nelson throws out Perez. We head to the 7th inning. It's New York 3, Kansas City 2. Take advantage of the 4 for 44 deal from the Royals and Taco Bell. You get 4 tickets to a Royals game, 4 special edition hats, and 4 Taco Bell Doritos Locos Tacos Supreme coupons, all for $44 plus tax. This package is good for any Royals home game while supplies last. Get your tickets at the Kauffman Stadium box office or by going to Royals.com/Taco Bell. Big game James, she's a fan, and yes indeed he does have 3 strikeouts. Got his team to turn a nice double play to end the 6th inning. Now to the 7th. Chris Stewart, Brett Gardner, and Robinson Cano. He had Stewart down 1-2 and then hit him with a pitch, and that was a key moment in the game because Shields was able to get the next 2 guys out as Stewart sends one to shallow center that Kane runs down. But after those 2 outs were recorded, Vernon Wells hit 1 out, and that is the difference in the game. Our AT&T trivia question. Who is second behind Andy Pettitte for the most career starts by active pitchers? We will give the answer a little bit later. Well, Andy Pettitte, we were talking about him being a candidate for the Hall of Fame, Rex, and he's won 20 games twice, part of 8 pennant-winning teams, 5 World Series wins. Nobody's had more postseason wins than Andy with 19. He's never had a losing season in 17 years. How about that?
Pretty special.
Wow. Gardner to left field. Gordon takes care of him. 2 outs.
Gardner hit that ball right on the screws. Gordy had him played just right.
Robinson Cano with that grin as he comes to home plate, hearing the boos cascade down from the Royals faithful. Got his 1500th hit, on Wednesday in Colorado. Was after a first pitch curveball for strike one. And at 30 years, 199 days old, became the 5th Yankee to reach 1,500 hits before his 31st birthday. Mick Kelleher had to take a dive. There's Mick, the first base coach. You say Robinson between the lines.
Yeah, that's why they're wearing helmets down there. You just never know.
The only active players to reach the milestone faster than Cano in terms of days following their first career game are Ichiro Suzuki, his teammate, Albert Pujols, and interesting, Juan Pierre. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He got it exactly 8 years and 6 days after his major league debut, which he made in 2005 on May 3rd.
It's right here.
Barely misses inside. And you're pointing at something down in the.
I'm trying to get the answer to the trivia question.
Oh, okay. I thought you were pointing down into the seats in the Diamond Club. Shields looking for his first 1-2-3 clean inning. He did have that 1-2-3 first, but Salvador Perez threw out Brett Gardner trying to steal. Another good breaking ball, but again, Cano very patient. 3-2.
You're not going to challenge him like he did Vernon Wells, because he could end up losing it. Although he's has that ability to throw that changeup for strikes.
In there, strike 3 call. Shields 7 tonight, gives up 3. Cano with an argument for Mark Wegner.
All right, James took a little bit off of it, but he dotted the corner. And Cano, you got to go.
As Mike Moustakas, that ball is going to be deflected for a 1-4-3 put out, and Panera takes us around the league. Adam Lynn, go-ahead home run in the 9th to beat Boston. Good pitcher's duel there. San Diego was up 6-2 before Jeremy Hellickson, or down 6-2 before Jeremy Hellickson gave up a grand slam. Padres now in the lead, though. Cleveland getting a good pitching performance from Ubaldo Jimenez. They chased Justin Verlander in that one. Mike Trout goes deep in his game. Baltimore trailing Minnesota at the moment in a high-scoring game. And so that's the action around the American League. And as we see Andy Pettitte dealing here, we do know that he has the most wins of any active player. Let's take a look at the question here again, because I'm pretty sure that HUD might have figured it out. All right, so here's the question. Who is the second behind Andy Pettitte for the most career starts by active pitchers? That ball's going to be popped up by Frank Core. All right, did you guys have guesses, or maybe we should just go over to a HUD there?
No, we always have guesses, Joel, but look, it is a challenge, and the fans, they love the questions too. My guess is Roy Halladay.
Okay.
That's just a guess.
Really?
But I got accused by the truck of cheating, going to my iPad and looking.
Now we know you either didn't cheat or you don't know how to look things up. I looked this one up this morning and sent it over to Al Broughton, and he thought it was a little bit of a diabolical question there, because, you know, you'd think CC maybe, right, since the Yankees are here, or Roy Halladay. But it's Tim Hudson is number 2. Mark Burley is 3. Barry Zito is 4. CC 5.
That's a quick inning.
Well, Andy Pettitte continues to work quickly and get the Royals out quickly, and he heads to the 8th inning with a 3-2 lead. Or your local Dodge dealer today. 30,910 at Kauffman Stadium tonight for Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Yankees and Royals. New York won last night 11-6. Royals actually had a 2-1 lead until the 5th, when Vernon Wells hit a 2-run home run off James Shields. So Shields, with 101 pitches, will face Wells to open the 8th. There's strike one. Vernon had thrown some thoughts out that this might be his final year, but my goodness, the way he has reborn his career in New York, he might rethink that. 34 years old, out of Dallas, Texas. He had some injury problems with the Angels. Only hit .230 last year with 11 home runs and 29 RBIs the entire season.
Well, you know, he might reconsider, but Andy Pettitte, when he left the Yankees and retired after the 2010 season, didn't pitch at all in 11. His wife Laura said, "Why are you retiring? You just had a great season." He says, "I miss my kids. I want to come home." So he did, and then she encouraged him to get back in it, and he wanted to pitch again. That's what happened. So Vernon's got some young children, too, he'd like to be around.
1 out. David Robertson, I would imagine, coming out for the 8th inning to replace, I believe, Andy Pettit. Andy's looking even sharper, though, in the 6th and 7th innings. Retired 7 straight. And their bullpen has been outstanding, as Travis Hafter. I mean, this is a team that is 13-4 in games decided by 2 runs or less, but they're also 18-0 when they have the lead after the 7th inning, and they have it after the 7th inning. Why not have them their first? Robertson and Rivera have been outstanding in the 8th and 9th. When Rivera was out, Robertson became their closer and had some hiccups last year, but they still, as a team, won 95 games and made it to the playoffs. They won the East by 2 games over Baltimore. But their offense has been average this year. They came in middle of the pack, 8th in batting, 8th in runs scored. But their pitching has been so good with the starters and the bullpen. When they have the lead after 6, I mean, it's really been lights out. Royals will have the top of the order coming up in the 8th inning. That means Escobar, Kane, and Gordon. Two balls, 2 strikes. Got him. 5 strikeouts for James Shields tonight.
On his 110th pitch. Looks strong.
He has now worked at least 6 innings in 22 straight starts, dating back to July 20th versus Seattle.
He's a horse. That ball was a little bit off the plate, but Hafner tried to just foul it off, get a piece of it. Wasn't successful.
So this is his 22nd straight start, going at least 6 innings. And 18 of those in the past have been quality starts. 4 have been complete games. He could have had that 5th complete game, but even though he was right around the 100 pitch mark, Ned Yost chose to take him out after 8 innings with a 1-0 lead. The bullpen could not hold it, and they would lose in 11. Ichiro had 3 hits yesterday, but he is 0 for 3 tonight. Threw that fastball right by Ichiro. We told you all of the great all-stars that James has had to hook up against this year. Chris Sale twice, Hamels, R.A. Dickey, Buchholz, Verlander, and now Pettit. 3-2. Alex Gordon makes the catch. James Shields retires 7 straight. He's got 8 innings, but the Royals need a run to tie and 1 more to take the lead. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Wouldn't it taste great with some barbecue? Hit a ton.
Sure would be nice. Now, he's going to need a little bit of help, though. So long to Andy Pettit. He's left the game. It's up to David Robertson to finish his start. Got to get a few guys on, get some action going.
Our Chevy call to the bullpen brings on David Robertson, who has been outstanding as their setup man this year, handing the baseball to Mariano Rivera, who is 13 for 13 in saves this year. Robertson only 5'11", 195, but Rex, they say he's a long strider, that he gets his plant leg way out there, and it seems like his fastball, which is firm at 95, is even quicker.
Yeah, he's deceptive. He'll go 87 to 94. 2-seamer, 4-seamer, but a big power curve is his out pitch. Occasional changeups.
He made his 14th appearance of the season in Thursday's win at Colorado, tossing an inning and a third of scoreless baseball, and he will face Escobar to lead things off, then Lorenzo Cain, and then Alex Gordon.
Robertson could be the heir apparent to Mariano Rivera, depending on what the Yankees decide after the season.
There's that fastball at 92 that looks a little quicker. He has struck out 16 this year in 14 innings. Only walked 3.
Last year when Rivera went down, Robertson got a couple of saves, and then that was it. Rafael Soriano.
Man, he made quick work of Escobar.
Soriano took over after he. Yep, just coming right in like a closer does.
He's out of Birmingham, Alabama, and the Yankees made him their 17th round pick in 2006 out of Alabama. He was the Tide's all-time leader in strikeouts, saves. Lorenzo Cain 0 for 2. His ground out did right in a run, and that came back in the third, walk in the fifth. The Royals made 2 mistakes which really cost them tonight. An error allowed a run scored in the third inning, and a hit batter by James Shields that 2 outs later scored when Vernon Wells hit a home run into the left field seats. 1-2.
Now that was a physical error by Moose. Okay, managers can handle physical, but the mental mistakes is what really makes the manager upset.
But the physical mistakes have cost the Royals a lot this week. I mean, they've made 8 errors in their last 7 games. Twelve errors by the left side of the infield now this year. 6 by Moustakas, 6 by Escobar.
They're going to have to tighten up that defense, there's no doubt. And communication needs to step up a little bit, too.
I know you talked about that play at second base between Elliott Johnson and Escobar.
And?
Wow. Royals aren't even getting some swings in against Dave Robertson. He has struck out both batters. That's 9 strikeouts by Yankee pitchers tonight. 7 by Pettit, 2 by Robertson.
Pitches right down the middle.
Kansas City's bullpen has Herrera and Holland. Herrera would come on if it stays New York 3 and Kansas City 2. Alex Gordon hopes to change that. He has 6 home runs this year. Strike 1. Strike 2. I mean, Robertson is just coming out and throwing strike after strike. He's throwing 10 pitches. 8 have made that strike zone. He has had all 3 Royals on the defensive, 0-2 or 1-2. show me upstairs fastball.
He's sneaky. But Fizz, you mentioned his long stride. You know, for 5'11", 190 pounds, he strides out there like Randy Johnson does. He really pushes off of that back leg and gets his foot out there, and he had no problem.
Strikes out the side. My goodness, what a bullpen New York has. Escobar, Kane, Gordon go quickly. Arnie. Inning. And fans, you can get closer to the action at the K with a new seat upgrade option using the MLB.com at the Bay Ballpark app. Simply choose Kauffman Stadium, hit the upgrade seat button to approve your seat, and then enjoy the game with your new ticket. So find your perfect seat while at the K with the seat upgrade feature on the At the Ballpark app.
See all those folks out there taking pictures of that Hall of Famer right there, future Hall of Famer, Mariano Rivera, the last man to wear the number 42. Folks want to get a little shot of it here at the K.
Meantime, Kelvin Herrera will try and keep the Yankees quiet in the top of the ninth inning, and then the Royals will have the middle of the order coming up in the bottom half of the inning with Billy Butler, Eric Hosmer, and Salvador Perez. Nix, Overbay, Nelson. Nix on base all 3 times, double, single, walk. He was on base 4 times yesterday with a pair of walks and a pair of hits. All of a sudden, he has become Mickey Mantle.
Hey, for a game or two, why not?
It's amazing.
Yeah, he looks
and that ball struck to center field, but Lorenzo Cain will be right there and take care of him. Let's take a look at some key plays in tonight's game, Rex.
All right, Moose had spun around, had plenty of time to get him, and he overthrew it. And then a run came home. James Shields hit a batter, Stewart, and then fell behind and challenged Vernon Wells. And Vernon answered with his 8th homer.
The little things that add up. Got to clean up the challenges that the Royals have faced this week in Baltimore and now against the Yankees. Wade Davis had a rough start yesterday, and just tiny little details hurt Kansas City, and they only scored 2 runs, being controlled by Pettit and Robertson. And it's not going to get any easier tomorrow because Kuroda has been fantastic. Irvin Santana has as well for Kansas City. The Royals must pick up offensively. They've been held down much of this week.
Herrera, hard 99 miles an hour fastball, 89 mile an hour changeup, overhand curve, a little bit more like a slider. That's an occasional pitch he uses. He just needs those two. Changeup's filthy.
And there's the changeup, and he strikes out Overbay.
Fades away from lefties into righties. You see how he holds that ball back in his palm? Same arm speed, but the grip slows the ball down. And there's a little bit of a, okay, I'm back on the beam. He locates, he's hard to hit.
And there's that little breaking ball. Because, Rex, it really seemed like it was missing with the fastball. The location with the fastball was the one that was getting belted around 6 home runs in not even 20 innings this year.
And a couple of changeups that floated up there on the belt.
Too short. Escobar takes care of Chris Nelson. Final chance for the Royals. They trail by 1. Butler, Hosmer, Perez going against future Hall of Famer Mariano Rivera when we come back. .621 career saves, most in Major League history. He has converted each of his last 27 save opportunities against the Royals since 1999. Last blowing a save against them on August 18, 1998 at Kauffman Stadium. Why not do it again tonight? Their only appearance here this year in this 3-game series.
He has 3 varieties of a cutter. He changes finger pressures and lets the ball do what it likes to do. But he likes to cut the ball, and sometimes it has like a slider cut, sometimes it's just a small cut, and sometimes he just bores in on you. That's about all he uses. Very good locator. Fans love it.
The Royal fans trying to out-cheer the Yankee fans here at the K is Billy Butler, the Royals' best, who belted a home run in the 4th inning. that sent the Royals in front 2-1. But in the 5th inning, Vernon Wells hit a 2-run home run to give the Yanks the lead they've held ever since. Butler goes after the first pitch, pulls it to short. Nix throws him out, 1 down. Well, Mike Sweeney was one of the Royals' best hitters who faced Rivera. And about facing the cut fastball, he said, you know what's coming, but you know what's coming in horror movies too. It still gets you.
Got that right. Now he can be hit and he can
absolutely
be try not to mentally psych yourself out.
Hosmer 1 for 3. Strike 1.
Very smooth delivery. Ball gets on you in a hurry. It's 91, but it seems like it's a lot harder.
Strike 2. Yankees a run in the 3rd. Royals a run in the bottom of the 3rd. Royals a run in the 4th. Yankees 2 in the 5th.
Just got to get on, get Dyson in the game.
They had their defense playing Eric Hosmer perfectly. If Nix is over at his natural position, shortstop pulled over towards the left side, that's a base hit. Instead, it's a ground out, and the Royals are down to their final out.
Hey, look at it. I mean, there's a lot of holes, and wouldn't you know it, he skulls one right at Nix. Hosmer's not a pull hitter, and it's amazing how they're playing him that way.
So now it is Salvador Perez. Rally caps on. 1-1. Royals still with a chance. Perez around first base will cruise into second with a double. And now we may see Dyson. Here he comes.
The Yankees got Mariano, and the Royals got Gerard Dyson. The runner gets out there. He's got great speed. He can be a game changer. Great piece of hit there by Salvi. And he's going good as that ball got all chalked down that right field line. Salvi will always remember that hit.
Now the Royals fans saying, bring him home, Moose. Mike has hit a home run in 3 straight games. 0 for 3 tonight. Ball 1.
Hey, wait for a mistake out over.
Ball 2. A shot to right. Foul.
All right, 2-0. Moose was looking for anything in. He could do that on it. And just hooked it.
Three balls and one strike. He has a right-hander waiting on deck in Jeff Francoeur. Three and two.
Moose never has gotten a hit off of Mariano. 0 for 2.
Out back, and he had a good swing on that 91-mile-an-hour fastball that was coming in on Mike. 3 and 2. Good at bat. Dyson at second base.
Anything close in there, Moose is hacking. That ball's cutting at the last minute.
Left field, deep. Wells racing over, reaches up and makes the catch. A good at bat by Mike Moustakas, taking it the opposite way. But a twisting fly ball that couldn't find the gap. Wells with a great angle. And Mariano Rivera with his 14th save and as many chances this year. The Yankees take the first two games of this series 3-2.
Thought that had a chance.
Well, Vernon Wells with the catch for the final out of the game. He is our forward player of the game because he had the play of the game back in the 5th inning. Man on, 2 out, gone.
Yep, Shields fell behind 3-0, came in with a fastball 3-1, and then 3-2 he came back with another fastball, and hot hitters don't miss him.
So the Royals fall to 18-15 on the year. The Yankees, they push their mark to 22-13. They've won 4 straight games, and Kansas City saying somehow we've got to beat these Yanks and get back on the track, as Kansas City has now lost 5 of their last 6 games. We'll be right back.